Of the minutes from March 13th, 2024.
For the minutes, anything with petitions?
Minutes. Next item on the agenda, presentations. Oh,
No, I should have taken that off. No.
no presentations. Okay, no presentations. Reports, discussion items, Department of Public Safety.
So the report went out. There's not a lot in it. It's kind of a slow month. Sometimes we get lucky that way. A lot of fire stuff. But specifically, if there's any questions about what's in the report, probably the easiest way to go about it.
Department of Public Works. Anybody got any information on public works?
Well, just fill you in, the department is now functioning with at least most of the people who are supposed to be working now at work. We're doing some preparation to get started on doing some street sweeping, which they should start next week. Mr. Meeks has taken some days off each week because he's got some time he has to use up before the end of the fiscal year. But other than that, we're about trying to get to trash cans that are overflowing. Want to do some, as I say, street cleaning, and then we're going to start looking at trying to deal with some of the limbs and stuff that are down. Basically, that's going to be about it for right now.
Okay. About the leaves, it's April now, so
They've been picking up leaves the last, in fact, I think last Friday they were out picking up whatever leaves people had on the curbs and so forth.
Friday still gonna be the pickup days for
Yes, sir.
leaves. Okay. Question?
Yes, I'd like to know, with the streets torn up all through the now,
Let's go down, I need you to come.
Okay. with the streets that are torn up all over Benton Harbor, how much street cleaning are they gonna do with getting up leaves and things? People are complaining a lot over on Columbus. That's been tore up. They tore it up just before the election. Now we're into 6 months of that. And they've torn up other streets. Instead of fixing the streets that was already torn up that they tore up and go ahead and fix that, why would they disrupt all the rest of those streets? People are complaining. So I'm bringing this forward to you all, asking why don't they make some sense of what they're doing. That makes no sense to me. That was last year, right at the tip of winter coming in, winter weather, and they tear the street up. I know it's a political thing. Yes, you don't have to say anything, but it's to make the ones that are running look like they're getting something done. But what I see, that it's a game that's being played. Now they're gone and torn up the other streets. What's that? I got a pretty much a sense of what's going on. Because as I always say, every eye that's closed is not asleep. I'm wide awake to what's happening. I can't speak it in your excellent language and make it sound nice, but I can make it plain that the fool can understand. So this is what I'm seeing now. We need some understanding. We need every street in Benton Harbor clean. Not just starting to do a little something here and then we don't see them anymore. That's over $1 million worth of equipment there. And it hasn't been even broke in yet. So we need to make use of that. If you don't have the people, as they say, they don't have the staff. The way I see money being moved, and the mayor said himself that we had millions of dollars in the general fund. That now was looking better than it ever looked. That was last year. If you backtrack to last year's meetings, you'll find saying that. So if that's so, where's all the money now? We almost broke, they say now. So we need some forensic investigation going on here. Because something is wrong, and I feel it. And I know the rest of you got to say something isn't right. It's impossible for you not to see it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioner. Anybody else?
Just on the street.
Come up, sir.
I think I heard street sweeper was going to be active. Many of the streets need serious gutter shoveling before sweeping. Otherwise, the sweeper will just kind of groom the muck. So you could probably get citizens to come and help with that, but front end loader going by and everybody shovel, whatever. It's going to take more than a sweeper for sure. Front end loader, scoop, a lot of work. Leaf pickup, I haven't seen anything on the city website about when that will begin. It would be helpful if we're going to do it. It's been asked about at many commission meetings, when that is going to start to happen. And just make it public. It's people that aren't here aren't going to know until we make it sort of more public. That's what I've heard so far, so that's the limit of my comments. Thank you.
Can I just add something?
Yes.
So there is a new page on the website, is entitled Projects, and there's a button on the front page, and it's also under Community. And it is updated weekly with the street projects. So right now they have May and Monroe reconstruction project updates on there, a detour map, timeline and when that's gonna happen. Division Street in Columbus reconstruction project, Green and Edwards reconstruction project, and the Pipestone resurfacing project are all on that project page on the website.
Okay, so they will go to the city website.
Yeah, go to the city website. On the front page, there's a button that says projects,
Projects.
or you can go under the community tab to projects. And it lists each project. It gives an information sheet, a fact sheet, a timeline, a detour map, and weekly updates.
Did they have that map there prior, last year when they tore Columbus?
This is new. This is a new page on the website.
They were last year. Did
All
they
right,
say
any other?
Columbus would be?
I would offer a comment, just for information. While tearing up different streets might not make sense to some people who don't understand what's happening, there's a certain amount of subsurface work that has to be done in each of these streets. It deals with sewer line replacement and other kind of utilities and stuff. And when you get that all done and equipment comes out to start relaying the asphalt and that kind of thing, you save money by being able to, even though you may finish one street and go into another, you're doing it all in one effort with the right equipment and right manpower to go from street to street when they're all prepared to a certain level. So there's a process to it that they're using, and it's designed to try and do what's being done in the most efficient manner that it can be done in the most cost-effective manner.
Also at the asphalt plants that closed.
They're shut down right now until they're hope to open soon. So what they're trying to do is get them ready so that when the asphalt plants open, they'll be able to do it.
Right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is new business. And item A, approval transfer of $800,000 from ARPA to the general fund.
Yes, sir. Essentially, at this point, with the cash flow being what it is, invoices coming in, having to be paid and so forth, we've reached a point where we need to utilize money that's available in the ARPA fund. to enable us to go ahead and pay these bills. Part of this is a result, I mean, something, ultimately has to give in one way or another. We've gone for several years now without collecting water bills, without collecting sewage bills or refuse bills. Every time that truck goes up to the dump, they want their money. And the joint sewage plant sends us a regular invoice and we have to pay it. Whether we are collecting money or not, we pay it. The net effect is that we've been covering all of these costs out of the general fund, including the overhead for the water plant. And we're at a point where, in order to handle the cash flow, and the finance manager has figured out what the anticipated taxes should be and when it will come in and what other revenues are coming in and what we need to expand at this time. So for that reason, we need to effect this transfer in order to be able to handle the cost of operations.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, Manager Little, so we know we have like 913,000 in the opera fund now.
Yes.
And so this will be part of like revenue loss?
It could be, and some of it may eventually be looked at as a loan and paid back for whatever, but between them, it could very well be.
Okay.
In the opera funds was part of the usage, which would be for revenue loss.
And there's a process that have to go through to establish that in
Yeah,
order to
revenue.
comply, and I'm sure that it would be able to do that if necessary.
And by the general fund, for the last almost 4 years, subsidizing the utility fund has created a big drain on the general fund.
Yes.
Mr. Fields.
So the amount, how did you come to the amount of 800,000? Did you have like a report with the line items as to how you plan to use them, or?
The finance manager went through and looked at all of the bills that are currently coming due to be paid. In some distributions that we have to make of taxes that had been collected, it goes to some of the other jurisdictions in the whole. She's mapped it all out that shows what would be needed and so forth.
You said our financial who?
Our finance director, Miss Rhonda.
Finance director is
We
different
don't have
from,
one.
financial manager is different. Who was I'm sorry.
Whichever we use, it's Rhonda Hildebrand.
The company, okay. So I would like to see some kind of report as to how they configured all of this before I would vote on it. I mean, because I don't understand the amount, and then we're talking about a report from,
We'll be glad to furnish that to you, but we don't have the kind of time to wait. We need to process these.
That also affects payroll too. I think that was anticipated in that report too.
That's all part of
All part
the
of the general fund.
process of operations.
I
The two commissioners were in a meeting with us where we had all of that. We just didn't have it here for some, but I'll be glad to furnish it to you.
okay. So what commissioners were present?
Is it?
Three personnel,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, I would, yeah, that's a lot of money, and then just with the report being available and possible, I would like to see that. I understand it's time sensitive, but thank you.
Ms. Knapp.
Yes.
No, go ahead.
Look, Ms. Knapp.
I'm trying to see how this operates. You have 9 persons, that's the commission. But then they just select 2 people to work with certain business matters as far as our finances. It behooves me to see that it doesn't compromise our integrity here. because it's 9 of us here. We don't know half of what's going on right now. We get it at the last minute and then it's got to be voted on at the last minute. I'm not happy with that. I've sat back here and heard a lot of them complain about it for years, since 2004. Now, there needs to be some clarifications of everything that's done. All of us are commissioners, so we should all be in the presence of when it's handling business for the city. So I'm not happy with how things is being done. I go and ask for different things, and I know better, but I let them go ahead and lie as long as they can. And after a while, I let them know why I know that they're lying. I've been coming here long enough as to follow through with lies. I ask for certain information. I ask for applications for certain things, and they tell me it has to be changed, and I know it's got to come back to the whole body before any changes can be made. But I'm told I got to wait till someone that's not even a board member, on the commission. So something is not right here, and I'm telling you, it's gonna show up one day, and you're gonna make headlines. I'm telling you all that for a long time. You don't have to listen, but it's gonna come to haunt you.
Yes, this was.
And it's not a finance manager here. Clint Moran is not your finance director.
Thank you, Mr. Tanner. Just speaking on what Mr. Tanner was talking about, it started with the committee. You know, we bring stuff to the committee and we discuss it. That's why you here, and other commissioners should be here too, to listen to what's on the agenda, and it's what we discuss. Then we.
You gonna bring it to the full body now.
Yeah, but now we
But
discuss
we
it.
got the information that is already drawn out of the funds.
Funds has not been moved yet.
We can't be drawn out until it's approved by the full body.
Well, when did the community have a chance to hear the bargaining for moving money?
They're hearing it right now.
Okay, because I heard about this before I got here.
Well, I don't know if you looked at it.
You know, put up.
Okay, go right ahead.
Come down to really 3 things. And first one would be bills are due. So you pay them or you don't pay them. Then where you get the money, you pay them, where you get the money from. And there's only 2 pots. And one has already been set for, by ordinance. And that's the income tax. So our money was pretty much designed for different projects and revenue loss. So it's up to the body to make choices what they want to do. Not pay the bills or find the money to pay the bills. Come down to, but the report, yeah, I do, that was brought to us. We just met with the projections was done, and we just got information. What was it? Yesterday, yeah. Kind of seen it coming, when you study getting money out of the general fund and it's not coming back, kind of seen it coming, you know that one day it's going to catch up to you, So, and here we are. So, but you do, I'm sure that you'll get the information, they'll get it out. That's why it's going through committee now, and as soon as to get it together, you have probably all weekend and all day, and then come commission meeting, you make, choice that you want to make. So, feels like you want to say something.
I understand all that you're saying, Commissioner. I am just still boggled, for lack of a better word, in regards to still why everything is like last minute and it's urgent. And this company that we use, this isn't new for them to be managing our finances. So they should have seen this. This is their job too, right? To see this in advance and be ready for such matters between them and the economic. So I can't, respond to like urgency without information. It's still unfair to be asked to vote on something or to even have an opinion on. It's not even a sentence. So I mean, I really do just have a issue with that. And I feel like if we were just more transparent and along the way, this is coming up, and I don't know about the full commission in regards to reports that you guys receive, but even before you bring it to, us, and it's only a few of us, so if we could have that information, that just would have been helpful for me. So I could have been like, oh, okay, I understand, or I can at least see the numbers adding up instead of just where did this amount come from?
Yes. Chair, yes, as Personnel and Finance Chair, we get the results of the finances every month. And the first thing that we talk about, that finances are low. Spending should be cut. The money is just not coming in. For 4 years that people have not been paying the water bill, so trash bill, sewer bill, water bill. And it's just over 4 years, it's just been putting the money go to the general fund. We got to ship it straight to the utility fund to pay for the trash going out, sewer, and for 4 years it's been going on. So every personnel finance meeting, we've been getting the same thing for years now, that cash is low. Cash is low. So that, we need to, on this 800,000 is pension. That's part of the pension. We gotta must pay payroll, so it's just, we're not getting the money, and we can't get that for you, itemize what this money's going to, but when we get it to the people, we are transparent. We're not trying to hide nothing, but the money's just not coming in. I know it's not, I'm gonna turn this into no personnel finance meeting, but we'll talk about that another time.
Could I add something? What I'm picking up and very happy to hear it. You have a much greater interest in getting details than most of our non-commissioned members of the committees. I'll see that you get it.
Thank you.
Mr. Knapp, how much?
You said that we've been having a low, a problem
Cash.
for about a low cash flow for 4 years. Last year, you all took a cruise on the lakefront, luncheons and stuff. The mayor took trips to see the president, and I guess advise him on how to run the country, or whatever. But however, these trips was monies that belonged to the city. If you had that kind of a money, how could you splurge on those items? This is what I'm talking about. Did you all not have a little cruise out there on the lakefront last year?
The crews are paid by F&B. F&B.
Who paid the fares for the mayor to go on these other trips?
This is,
Because I know week after week.
This is-
that.
Ms. Kennard, this is a public safety, public works.
It's
meeting.
public safety, but the safety is that our city be ran financially. It's talking about the finance. Am I not right? So what I'm saying is, if the finance is so crucial and there's a problem with it, how do they find money to splurge off for things that you really don't bring back to the city for it to benefit the city? I went on the Michigan Municipal League, Capcom, and came back, and I have information, and I love to share it with you all. But then the rest of them, when they go, they're not coming back with something. I think that was the purpose of us going, is to find out things that would benefit our community. So what was the purpose of going to trip after trip? And I know every week that they wanted to get something done, the leadership was gone, had to take trips. So if you got this kind of a budget problem, what's happening there?
You got it.
I have a different question, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So why is this on the line item again? I don't know if I missed you explaining that. Why is it in Parks and Public Safety first? Are you bringing it to all the committees?
No, it's because this is the only committee that meets before the next regular commission meeting. And in order to go through the process, it was necessary to bring it to this. And that will be occurring throughout with many situations because the same person, you gotta write these things and get it ready and whatnot. And in order to meet timeliness, we can't wait a month to take it to a committee meeting. We need to do it now.
Yeah, I reiterate, being that this isn't a new company, just more time is what I'm asking. I just feel pressured, so.
Could I offer to have you come by the office? I'll take some time and go through with you what the whole financial situation is. I think you'll probably then feel more comfortable because I think it's only fair to say this is not the end of it. I mean, realistically, just as they said, everybody knows that we've not been collecting water bills.
Right.
We've not been collecting trash bills. We've not been collecting sewage bills and kind of pay the piper. Ready for the next item?
Next item, yep. For financial support for the development of the Paw Plaza project, a new public waterfront park. Mr. Little.
Sent out along with the resolution, a little package that kind of shows the park that we're talking about being developed. It will be from Riverview Drive down the side of Ship Canal on the side toward the Imogene Flats building and turn the corner and go down the front of that building along the Paw River. It will be a public park facility. The anticipated cost of the total project is $2 million. It's being paid for through a combination of Harbor Shores, Cornerstone Alliance, Marion County, and we were asked initially if we could contribute $350,000, to which I told them that I'm sure we would love to, but we don't have the ability to, that the park will be in Benton Harbor, will be available to residents, visitors, anyone, and it's definitely a positive, a plus for the city. That for those reasons, the city, I'm sure, would want to participate, but it has to be in concert with what our ability is. And initially, in just discussing in general, we thought maybe $50,000 from ARPA would be a contribution that we might be able to handle. As I said, the whole project is $2 million. And I might add that this has been that same type of park along the edge of that canal has been in the planning by the city for a number of years to try and accomplish. The request is that the city make a commitment to contribute 50,000 out of the 2 million that will be involved in this from our ARPA funds.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. You know, what we just spoke about with the 800,000, you know, coming out from the ARPA, you know, I recommend that we reduce that to, I know it's a good city thing, and right now, I'm sure, you know, we cash strapped, so I think that 25,000, I think, you know, it's a city, in the city of Ben Harbor, so at least 25,000, I think, would be appropriate for the situation that we're in, I think.
So there's no, set amount right now, it's just that we would, ideally, it would have been, you know, what given the latest information. And,
It's just basically that we make a contribution consistent with our ability, and as elected officials, I'm hearing you say that given the overall circumstances as evidenced by what we just finished discussing, you're saying let's look at a slightly smaller amount. It's perfectly legitimate as elected officials if you wish to do that.
Basically, we approve the idea, but we'll find out about what we can contribute later.
And it's certainly the decision of the commissioners.
So what happens? Does it move forward or do we come, this isn't an urgent one, this isn't urgent, like,
Well, it is, we need to let them know where we stand on it because they want to move forward with the project. So I think we need to, and what I hear the group saying is that we support what we're trying to do. It's just a question of what's our ability to support it and what level.
Okay.
Was there dollars that came from the dispensaries that came in recently?
Is there dollars came from the expense, the dispensaries?
The 236,000 that came in from the dispensary, went straight to the general fund, skipped the general fund, went straight to the utility fund. 236,000 from the licenses.
We really, what's your name?
Deidre?
Dee.
That's me.
Like she was saying, we really need to have information a little bit ahead. At the last minute to vote on things, you don't get a chance to do any research in the area.
We don't vote till Monday. Today is
I know it, but
Wednesday.
the urgency is to you today. You all could have done your research on to this, and this was last minute coming to you. It's just not come to you. Or did you have a week or two
No,
to look into it?
this right here,
Uh-huh.
today. Yes, today, yeah, just,
That's what she
it's
said.
on the agenda.
Project been talked about with the other committees. I think you can plan economic development. Yeah.
I know a lot of things we'd like to participate in, and with the understanding that we did have millions of dollars, which was said last year. If you check back on the footage that we had back through last year, you will hear it said, that commented that it didn't just happen the other 3 years up to that meeting. But he said we were in better shape than we had ever been in. We have millions of dollars in the account. That was said on last year. So don't date it back to the 4 years that this hasn't been going on.
You still you had to pay the trash, same thing. We paid it, we had to move the money. General fund, utility fund, it's been going on just.
So you spent all of the millions up in, since last year when you mentioned this?
There's other things we gotta pay for too, Mr. Commissioner Kennard.
I know, but there are monies coming in from taxes and other things too.
One of our biggest ones is, water collections, because so much is on there.
I believe what the commissioner may be alluding to is back when we received the initial ARPA allocations. And at that time, it's factual that you had millions. But you must recognize that coming out the chute, when the first money came in, you were already looking at a significant deficiency in terms of lower revenues in all tax areas, property tax, income tax, and everything else that was made up for with a draw from the first ARPA allocation. The second year was the same thing, and you made up the difference. Now, beyond that, the commission made the decision to assist by paying the water bills and so forth for residents, a first round, and then you did it again on the second round. Even millions go away after a while.
So are we not using any of the city income tax money?
No city income tax.
Any other questions?
No.
Since we moved it forward.
As is.
As,
25.
yeah, we got, public comments. If anybody got any public comments, we have, 3 minutes. Public comments.
All I say is that we are to do research as commissioners, look into things, because snow jobs go every day. You know, when it first is snow, everything looks white and pretty. But when it go to melting, you see all of the junk and crap that's under that snow. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of things I've seen that as 9 people should have been able to get together and research things before they go. This city looks a mess. Things the way it's operated and done, they said we have to follow the process. What is the process? Most of the time you have no idea what the process is, and the person that says it doesn't know either. So I'm saying, let's not take a snow job, do our research and work on pulling the city together. You got brick and mines here, college degrees and everything. But then a small city like this, what is that to say for us? And many have spent 3 and 4 terms in here. And they said, well, the city was tore up like this when we got here. So that's a poor excuse for you being there 4 years. So let's be careful in how we do things, because I promise you, something gonna come down eventually for not having a finance director. Y'all said Plant Moran is it? But I promise you, it's something that is not gelling right. And I can't put my finger exactly on it, but I'm not a rocket scientist, but I know that it's something not right. And you all know too. Thank you.
Mr. Rappers, you.
I have a curiosity about the county and being involved in a city park. Has that ever happened before?
Speak on that, Mr.
I know that the county owns Silver Beach and operates it, but it's not, I don't think it's a partnership. I'm just curious if there's ever been a partnership with the county in this city.
I don't really know the answer to that.
I think a lot of time is consumed in financial mysteries. You've heard the word transparency often. It would be much easier to for everyone to feel like they're a participant if they were made aware. Example of the ARPA funds and that they were a big pile a while ago and now they're the small pile. Just a simple tally of where that went could be made, and then people could understand what has happened and know what's left and just feel a part rather than, some people have seen and they believe or feel that this is we need these numbers, we need to hit the budget hard and shift this money to here. We need to be aware, and then we can accept or question whatever's appropriate. But I think that's really comes up quite often. And the other comment, which would tie on to Commissioner Kennard's, is the effort to save. I feel, but I don't know, that we could be doing a lot better at monitoring outgoing funds and getting maybe what we're paying for. We don't know, but it doesn't feel good. And I'm just a human with feelings. But I think if we could be given examples of this is, budgets, targets, results, quality, all these things that really, really matter. If you have it,
Every personnel finance meeting right here.
is that part of our packet?
Personnel
Personnel
finance.
Oh, okay. I've been to that. And the other, I guess the other component of that.
All the operas laid out, itemized.
Okay, thank you. Is there any way that can be, it could be analyzed a lot easier if it
It's
were
on
in
the, it's on the,
digital form? Because we can look at pages and piles of stuff, but you really want to compare this and that. And there's a lot, that's what computers were built for.
thank you.
Thank you.
Is it a part of the,
What?
are the packets for finance a part of the agenda? The digital copies are, okay.
Digital.
Digital, she sends it a part. That's why I just confirmed, she sends it a part of the agenda.
But it's a piece of paper that you spit out. It's not like spreadsheet.
Oh, they probably not doing
That's what I'm asking for. Thank
it.
you.
That'd be nice.
I just want to piggyback what he said as far as, so it's in the finance and, what is it, finance committee? It's in your packet. How does the community, the residents get to see that? I know it's here, but everybody doesn't come.
Yeah.
So how is it related to the community as far as what's being said? How's that, because everybody don't get the emails that Tiffany sends out. So how is it relayed or conveyed to the community? As far as where the money's going, being spent, the itemized items?
Especially when they can't actually see it.
Yeah, because they can see it, we can get it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Good question.
As far as the community.
The most immediate way is in watching meetings like this that are appearing on YouTube. No city anywhere is sending out spreadsheets to everybody in the city, and we're not going to be doing it here either, I don't think, because it's just not practical. But now what does occur, and I think we have to recognize sometimes we bear some responsibility on some of this. As a matter of fact, I remember a couple of times early last year and the year before, there was concern about the non-finance director not providing information. And every commission meeting at 6:30, Ms. Hildebrand sits right there at that desk with all of the information, all of the reports and everything to answer any questions that anybody on the commission might have to ask. Typically what occurs is not one single person comes in and asks anything. And she leaves about 5 minutes to 7 just before the meeting starts. And she's there specifically for the purpose of answering any question that anybody on the commission has about anything that's going on financially. Now, beyond that, one of the things that I've started to do just in the last week or so, I started just setting up informational meetings 2 commissioners at a time so that I can share with them things that are going on in greater detail than we would have time to do in this kind of meeting. Most of the commissioners came, you didn't, the others did. Some of the stuff that you're asking about, had you attended the meeting, you would have had. But, I mean, it's, there's a way of doing things, and then there's a way of doing things. It's just as simple as that. And you can't get anything out if you don't put anything in.
Rebut. Yeah.
One of the things I want to add, I just came in January, so I had no idea that Ms. Hillbrand is here at 6:30. At our information that we need financially from her. Nobody tells me these things. I have to just about squeeze or hear it somewhere, someone speaking to another person, and I overhear something, and then I inquire about it. So it's almost like it's a secret. If you stumble upon the information, it's okay. But I never knew that she was here 30 minutes before time for the meeting. So this is new to me now, and I'm just not coming on. You guys have been here, you could have said, if you need any financial information, Ms. Kennard, Ms. Hildebrand is here 30 minutes ahead of the meetings. That way, I got time on my hand, I can come and ask if there's something financially I need to know. Most of the time when I want information, I've gone to the city clerk and asked her about some things. I didn't always get what I wanted, and I'm hoping that eventually I will. Because, you know, we into a quarter of the year gone. So, like I said, I do my best at doing what I'm supposed to do. But I'd like for all of us to, since I got the brilliant minds, mine's not that great, but all of you guys, brilliant minds, can help me to understand what's going on, because too much of it don't make sense to me.
One last comment.
Just to address what Mr. Little said, I know you guys aren't gonna send out spreadsheets to everybody, but it would help if, like, he had meetings with you all, that we could have some kind of town hall every now and then, just to go over some of the finances, you know, just a community town hall. Just to go over the finances. You gotta get it out to everybody. Everybody's not gonna come anyway, but at least you're opening it up to the community to have that, giving that choice to come out and do and see. And then one other thing too, because I know my critic.
No.
But the Citizens Review Board, I don't know why it's not in operation. I don't know what's going on. I know people that wants to apply to the Citizens Review Board. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but we need to get that started. We need to get that going on. People can apply, something about applications. I'm not sure what's happening, but it's been approved. It was approved 4 or 5 years ago. And people are always talking about getting on these boards and, you know, people coming and applying for these boards, but you can't apply if there's nothing to apply to.
Right.
If there's no applications there, you can't apply. And people come to me because the Sharp Foundation is the one who pushed it to get it done, but there's no applications there. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on, why we can't get this up and running like all the other boards are running, committees are running.
Is there any, what do you know?
If, before you end, if I could, I'd like to make just a couple more comments.
On the, or,
No.
okay. Any, for the applications, is there?
Yeah, so the Public Safety Department has the application to review and revise.
So when they review it and revise it, it has to come before the full body to approve it, because that's how it was approved. You can't revise anything and not let the full body know what you're revising, so they can approve on it like they did before. right?
Yeah, it should bring it back.
Bring it back to
To
see,
committee.
because I have all the original documents, so
Yeah.
I know what's gonna be revised and what's not.
Right, bring it back to the committee and
Right.
then the full body approves any revisions.
So it'll come back to this committee first,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And then it goes to the full body to approve.
yes.
Okay.
Could that be on your next?
Hopefully,
Can
by
you
the
put it on the agenda?
next agenda, next month, I'm sure they should have something for next month, yeah.
Because, and even the criteria for being on that committee, people need to know that criteria. Because, as far as the commission is concerned, 2 commissioners is at least supposed to be on that committee.
We'll get a full report on it for
Okay,
the next month. yeah.
thank you.
Mr. Little,
Yes, sir. One thing I wanted to do was just a reminder to everybody that come Monday, Eagle is going to be here to make a presentation about the water facility. And I say remind because I know I have stated it previously and told everyone, and we'll send it out again, but they will be here to make a presentation on Monday. Also, Abin-Marsh will do a very brief presentation of what's online and how you can access it to show what streets are blocked and because they're working on them and that type of thing, and which ones are open and what the detour routes and so forth are. And lastly, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce you to a new member of my staff that started today, Ms. Deborah Chubb. She's going to be the CDBG manager, and we're happy to finally have that position filled.
Say
For community economic
say it again, what's the position?
CDBG manager, Community Block Grant Manager. She'll be assisting with overseeing all of the activities that we have and the reporting that's necessary and the follow-up and all of that kind of stuff that's required.
Was it that go out to the public for, as far as someone?
Yes, ma'am, and we've been trying to fill that position for 3 years.
that's one that HUD kind of mandated that it get done, yeah. Thank everybody for coming out, this meeting is adjourned.
It's adjourned.
Yeah,